Happy holidays!
Where common sense fails. Warning, contents may be hot. It's Christmas!
Hey, hi everyone. Hope you like the intro. Couldn't quite afford Noddy Holder, but hey, Izzy, you did a great job. So, happy Christmas everybody. Here we are, Christmas Day. I hope you've opened all your presents and got everything that you wanted from Santa. I dare say there's one or two of us that have been on the naughty list. But you know what, with the year that we've had with COVID and everything else, I reckon, that should be exempt this year. No bad people this year. Well, one or two maybe. But anyway, I hope you've had a lovely morning and afternoon so far. And let's just hope it's going to get better. So today, again, I'm on my own. I have a few little helpers with me. But again, Drew can't make it. So, but he's not going to be missed because he's sent over a few little season's greetings, which will interject through the show as we're going. What do you reckon, Drew?
This is Drew wishing everybody a great Christmas.
Wow, it's like you're in the room with me, Drew. Anyway, what do you think about the year so far?
I think we need to put 2020 on the couch, don't you?
And what about next year?
Let's hope that 2021 is better than 2020. It couldn't get any worse. Or could it?
I can't believe I'm having a conversation with a recorded message from you, Drew. Okay, so, have you got anything else to say before we move on?
Merry Christmas from Dr. Drew.
Got to stop it. Right, moving on.
Doctor, I'm not a real doctor.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to break out into that classic Thompson Twins song. Doctor. Anyway, thanks for that, Drew. And hopefully we'll get back to recording kind of, together in the new year. Phew. Don't think anyone's going to notice I edited that in there. Close one, right?
Para la gente española, muchas muy buenas fiestas, feliz Navidad. Sigan escuchando el podcast de Chris porque vale mucho la pena.
In this next section, I thought we would do something around different cultures and find out how other people around the world celebrate Christmas. And who better than to introduce you to Marc. Marc works for us. Marc came over from Spain about, just over 12 months ago. And I surprised him today by giving him a quick call and just saying, come on, Marc, get on the podcast and tell us all about some of the traditions over in Spain. So here you go, see if you like it.
Save me, please, save me, I can...
I remember you telling me the story, and there's this Spanish tradition where if you're bad, right, you get given coal. Is it like, well, it's not coal, it's like a black sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me more about that again. So as children, right, are you kind of threatened with this? And how do you know where it came from?
No, exactly. I don't know exactly where it came from, but it's something really usual in Spain that when you had bad behavior during the year,
yeah,
Santa or kings, the three kings.
Okay, yeah, the three kings.
Or a tío in Catalonia. They give you, well, maybe not tío, maybe Santa and the three kings give you... So
does Santa and the three kings, do they come on the 25th or
no, that Santa comes on 25th.
Yeah.
And the three kings comes on 6th of January.
Oh, right. So what, you could get a piece of coal, as I'm going to call it, on the 25th and on Kings, or can you make it up? Can you become good?
You can receive it in both of both of festivities. Yeah, if you're
really bad.
Yeah, exactly. But as long as you get older,
yeah.
You prefer it because it's sweet and it's something that you really love when you are older, and you prefer it. Sometimes we do these kind of jokes with our relatives.
So have you got Marina some coal?
not this year because in here is really difficult to find it. But
what's it called?
Sorry?
What's it called? It's not called coal. It just looks like coal.
Well, in Spain, the Spanish word is carbón.
Right.
Is where you put in, it's like when you put wood, or when you want to make barbecue, you put this black.
Yeah, charcoal.
Yeah, exactly. Is that one?
And so, can you buy this during the year, or is it something that just comes out like Stollen in Germany? Only really comes out at Christmas.
Yeah, I think that if you want to buy it during the year, it will be really hard for you to find it. It's a Christmas thing.
So come on, confession time. Did you ever receive any charcoal for Christmas or Kings?
Well, when I was when I was really young, when I think I was 6 or 7. I received one of them, and my parents always told me that for me it was something really bad, and it was like, oh my god, how bad I.
But do you get it as the first thing to open, or do you get it so you open up your presents?
Well, you have wrapped as the rest of your presents, so. You cannot decide which is the first or the second one that you open. So maybe you are so excited because you open a toy and then the charcoal, and it's like, oh man, I was bad in this year.
And did you know you could eat it as a young person?
When the first time that I received it, I didn't know it, but then my parents told me that I could eat it.
Wow.
And it's really sweet, and it's like it made of sugar, and I think that it's if you put this sugar on fire, and the color changes to black. So for this reason, they say that
are you going to tell us, Mark, why you got it? What had you done that was?
I don't remember. I was a good kid.
How about your brother? Did your brother ever get it?
Yeah. My brother was worse than me. Yeah.
Well, every year.
No, every year no, but I remember that he had more times.
So go on, name and shame him. What's his name?
Giuseppe
Pomez?
Yeah, exactly.
Naughty boy. So I mean, that's really interesting because I guess either I've been such a good boy myself that I don't think the English or the British people have anything similar. Unless you just don't get any presents.
So so kids only can find presents on Christmas and on Christmas.
Yeah, so it's like I guess our equivalent is if you don't have any presents under the tree, then you've been a bad kid.
Okay.
Here's some black coal that's really a sweet, that's really quite tasty, and actually it's quite nice. No, we don't have any of that.
Okay. No, I think that it's fine in Spain because it's maybe you have like your parents, so you had some times of good behavior.
Yeah.
But be careful because you also had bad behavior.
But this is also, and the thing about this now, Mark, is because we do have some listeners who are in Spain, right?
Yeah.
So some of this might resonate with them. And the other thing, listeners, for those of you that aren't in Spain or don't know Spanish tradition, Mark showed me once a video, and it was kind of a little bit weird, right? And I kind of sat down and thought, is this some kind of spiritual kind of thing that they do here? And what it is, from what I could gather, it's a little bit like a piñata, in that these small children stood around this wooden thing that was like, it looked like a dog, I guess, under a sheet, and they smack it with some sticks, and they pull the cover off it, and there's like sweets there. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, it's
so what is
like,
that?
Well, first off, I need to confess that when I arrived in the UK and I told the first time this story, I lost completely my childhood. because when you are a kid and you have these traditions, you don't stop to think about that. And when you tell someone that it's not from there, it's like, okay, yeah, well, we have like a piece of wood with legs and with face and with the traditional hat from Catalonia. And because it's only Catalonia.
Okay, so everyone else in Spain, right? They don't have this weird ritual.
No, they don't have this magnific ritual. Well, when you meet with the family, the children goes to pray in a different room.
Yeah.
And when they finish to pray, they go to this piece of wood, and this piece of wood is covered by a piece of cloth. When you, for example, in the bed, when you are
it's like a blanket.
Yeah, exactly. So it's covered by that, and with some piece. Well, some.
It's a stick, right? Piece of wood.
Yeah, it's a stick. So the children starts hitting it, singing a song like.
But are you hitting it with anger, or are you kind of like, oh, it's a little tap? Oh, nice piece of. I mean, what do you call it? You can't say, well, it's a piece of wood. I mean, does it have a name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Tio.
Tio.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you all go around and say, come on, let's go and smack the hell out of Tio.
Well, I think that it's not angry, the feeling that you have. It's more excitement to receive the present. Maybe, yeah, when you are a child, maybe you hit with too much strength. So. Yeah. But it's excitement. I think that if this piece of wood was alive, I think that it would understand.
What's the name of this thing again?
Tio.
So when do you find, or when do you stop hitting Tio?
You ask for the rest of festivities that you have in Spain. These Christmas festivities, because it depends on the family. They celebrate more Tio, more Santas, or more Kings. It depends on the family. So. When I noticed it was like, okay, and what about the other ones? The same.
So when was your last Tio? When did you last smack the hell out of a piece of wood, so to speak?
I think it was about 7 or 8 years.
Okay, not ago.
Sorry?
It wasn't 7 or 8 years ago. It was when you were 7 or 8 years old.
No. It was when I was 7 or when I was 8. No. And that's it. And it's something that when you are, I assume that for people that don't celebrate Christmas, it's also weird.
But when did you do it? When did you do the ritual smacking of this Tio?
Well, we used to do it the night before Christmas.
Okay.
And then you receive the Santa's presents from the different parts of your family that they were in the Tio's celebration, if you want to say. And then you have more presents on the King's Day.
I think you get spoiled then in Spain, right?
What do you mean with that?
Yeah, well, I think you have quite a nice time, right? It lasts for what sounds like 10 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess your mom and dad used to host Christmas, right? Fairly large, because did you have a lot of people around?
Yeah. I used to celebrate Christmas Eve on my grandma's house, and we used to be like 20 or 22. We have a large family.
What do you do? What does 22 people do when you're all together?
Make a lot of noise.
Well, that's just I can imagine.
Yeah, we try to speak as a normal people, but I think that it's only the first 5 minutes. Then.
Do you play games?
Yeah. I love to play games with the youngest people of my family, and I always beat them. I think that they need
quite competitive. So just again, listeners, just to let you know, yesterday in the office, at the end of the day, I said to Marc, "Come on, let's get the PlayStation out and we'll put it on the big screen and we'll take him on. Now, the previous night he'd taken me on in football, FIFA 21 or something, FIFA 20, and I don't know how to play football on it. Right, I'm useless. I just press all the buttons and he beats me. It's like too easy for him. So I'm thinking, I've got the skill. I've got the skill with driving, right? I'll beat him. He's only a young whippersnapper. So I'm there. Come on, let's do the driving exercise. Let's do the driving games. Was it Gran Turismo or something?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the first 3, I'm not having this. I can't have this. He's not only is he young, but he drives on the wrong side of the road. So how can he be beating me? So anyway, we had a good old ding dong last night on some of that. And did you win the last one, or did I win the last one?
I don't remember exactly.
I think you won. Yeah, you won the last one. So I'm now today, everybody, going to get so much practice in that when he comes back, in fact, could we do it remotely? Do you have Gran Turismo?
No, I don't have it, but maybe
get it online, and then we can do it online. And I'm not that I'm competitive, listeners, but I'm gonna kick his little ass. Right? I'm not having him come over from Spain in his Citroen C1, whatever he had. What did he have?
No, it's C4.
Citroen C4, and then he comes and beats me. I put it down to the fact that I just need to get some practice in.
I want to let the listeners know that while Chris was saying that words, I received a message saying that if I don't let him win, I don't receive any payslip from now to March. So
I think I need to impose that Spanish tax I keep talking about.
Oh, exactly. I think it's one of the 5 taxes that I have to pay to my boss.
Yeah. Now, again, listeners, Marc doesn't seem to realise that when he comes and works in the UK, because he's Spanish, he was unaware of the Spanish taxes that we have, especially for Spanish people in the UK. And that is that, for starters, every month they should bring in a gift for their employer. He's not done that once, so he gets taxed on that. And also, when he's been here 6 months, he has to pay a Spanish tax to say thank you for the job. And then on Christmas, he should also double his Spanish tax to say thank you again, just for having a job. And all he does is smile. Right? He doesn't pay these taxes at all. So he's got a big tax bill, but he ain't yet to pay.
I don't know what are you talking about. I tried to research about it, but
this is when Marc goes back into Spanish mode. He goes, "Oh no, I don't understand. I don't understand."
I don't speak
English. No, it's been a good first year, I think. Right? You've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think so. The only pity was all of this lockdown period and.
Bad, right? I was hoping to catch his longtime girlfriend and now fiance. Marina,
yeah,
but she's at work.
Yeah, she's at work right now.
Oh man, so Marina, you have to make sure that Marina listens to this now, so she knows that she's missed out.
Of course.
On the podcast. So it would have been fun having Marina on it. She'd have probably panicked, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that if she was here, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to say any bad word" or something like this.
But anyway. I only wanted you for a quick kind of update on stuff like that. What are you going to do during Christmas and New Year? Because I know it's quite strange because you're in a foreign country. We're in lockdown, so there's not much you can do really, apart from probably play games, talk to family on FaceTime. Yeah,
I think that we will have the special meals with a tablet. Talking with family. I think that it's the first year that we can speak with all the family on Christmas at the same time.
Right.
So in some terms, it's good, but we will miss them because it's I think that it's a special family times to spend with them.
Yeah. And you say your grandma's still with you?
Yep.
How old is she?
I have both grandmas.
Oh, that's good.
I don't have any grandpa alive, but I think I'm really bad at that. But I think that one is my mother's mom is 86.
Wow.
and my dad's mother is 84.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that's good, right?
And if you see them, they are really young. They are really active and
Are they still disco dancing?
well, I'm not sure about that because if you put some music, I think that they will start
Do they dance
dancing.
to Julio Iglesias?
Exactly, Julio Iglesias.
Well, I'm ashamed to say, the only Spanish pop stars that I know are Julio and his son, who is Enrique. and Baccarat from the 70s.
Yeah,
And you don't know them, but maybe your mom and dad do. They sang
Yeah.
Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, right?
I think so. But you also know a lot of Spanish songs like Macarena.
But are they Spanish or are they from South
No.
America?
Macarena is Spanish, yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm slowly getting lessons off Marc in Spanish culture. I'm not so good and I'm not so hot on Spanish language, but I'll get there. But anyway, Marc, what you're going to tell me now, though, what I'm going to learn is how to say Merry Christmas in Spanish.
Yeah. In Spanish, Merry Christmas is Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, Feliz Navidad.
Navidad.
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad. That's
Yeah.
not Spanish. That's Catalonian.
No, that's Spanish. Catalan is different.
What's Catalan?
Catalan is quite French. It's Bon Nadal.
Bon Nadal. That does sound French.
No, I think
More sounds more French than
yeah,
this one, right?
yeah.
So it's that time of the year where, as we're walking around the shops, okay, socially distanced and everything else, but we're walking around the shops normally, and there's that constant playing of Christmas tunes on repeat and repeat and repeat. You can't avoid it. But I love my music, and so I thought, okay, so I can't play music on the podcast because of rights issues, but what I thought I'd do is just put together and talk about the 5 favourite tunes that kind of get me in that Christmas mood. There's loads out there, obviously, and I'm surprise, there's going to be nothing on there that you haven't heard already, but I just thought, when you get into Christmas, I mean, I know people were putting up decks quite early this year. You can walk around the shops in late August, early September, and they're starting to get the Christmas stuff out. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a little bit on some of the festive tunes that like I say, get me in the mood for Christmas. I'm only going to do my top 5, but before I do that, obviously, because I said before, there's loads out there, and outside of those kind of top 5 things, I think that are worth the mention, because there are some pretty much old classics in my list, but there are a few out there that I also like, and when they come on, things like I Believe in Father Christmas by Greg Lake. Again, I love that song. One I'm not keen on, but you've got to kind of give it a nod to say, she's it's popular, people like it, and That's All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. I've never really taken to Mariah Carey, but it's a good tune, right? I can appreciate it. You can't, certainly us in the UK, can't forget Band-Aid and It's Christmas Time. Do they know it's Christmas? That came out in 84, and had a few sort of releases between then in the sort of past 30 odd years. But yeah, it's again another classic. And you can't I guess do a talk about Christmas music without forgetting that Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Rea. Again, another great track. But let's talk about, like I say, the ones that get me kind of in that festive spirit.
Number 5.
I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by Wizard. There was this came out the same year as Slade released theirs. Merry Christmas Everybody, 1973 I think it was, and I thought they sounded quite similar, and I thought, you know what, is this from the same band? And they're actually from the same part of the world, Birmingham, Walsall kind of area, but I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by Roy Wood was again one that gets me started thinking, Christmas is coming, and the funny thing about it is, these people have to record this kind of stuff in May, June, July time. It must be pretty weird having to sing about Christmas and get all kind of dressed up and cut the video and everything else in this sort of summertime. But so there's the first one.
Number 4.
So number 4 was Stay Another Day by E17. I think this became a Christmas song by accident. I actually don't think it's that Christmassy. At least I don't think they started off doing it as a Christmas song. I think it was. I think it's about the singer's brother who died. But a little bit of genius. They stuck in some sleigh bells, and all of a sudden, cut a video with them all standing there, looking, in their kind of big white coats and everything else, and a little bit of fake snow in there, and all of a sudden you've got a Christmas hit on your hands. So again, another good one. I don't mind when that one comes on.
Number 3.
And again, an absolute classic. This one, I think, anyway, certainly of my era, in the sort of mid '80s. Kept off the number 1 spot by Band Aid. So you got to be sitting there thinking, of all the years, you're up against that charity single, but it's Wham's Last Christmas. And again, it just reminds me of my last year in high school. We would be sitting in the sixth form common room and putting on the songs, and it's just a good time. That kind of period of my life was great fun.
Number 2.
Number 2, again, an absolute classic from '73. I've already mentioned it previously, but it's that Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade. Again, it's an absolute classic, and Nobby Holder reportedly is pulling in sort of £1 million a year in royalties from this. I think he might have to split it with the guy he wrote it with, but that's not a bad pension pot, right? Every year it's generating £1 million in royalties. I mean, that's the thing, right? If we for future, bit of career advice is write yourself a classic Christmas tune that gets played every year, and you'll never have to work again. That guy, of all the people that are out there, you might be sitting there going, oh God, no, not this song again. There's one guy who doesn't mind listening to that song or hearing it being played all the time, and that's Noddy Holder. So well done to him.
Number 1.
My favourite all time, and as soon as I hear this, I think, Christmas is coming. And It's a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. Again, absolutely love this. It came out, when did this come out? 78, 79, I think. I was only 9 or 10 at the time, but it was at just the start of the tune, and I just thought, oh yeah, that's it, it's Christmas, right? And there they all are, the video, they're all in the pub, having a great time. It just makes me think, family around, everything else, what a great time. So they're my top 5, but just going back onto the kind of royalties that these songs generate. Just to give you an example, I think, as I said before, in 2016, there was it was actually a Channel 5 program, I think, in the UK, and it kind of went through the sort of royalties that these songs have been generating. And just to give you an example, so Slade generate £1 million in royalties, and the second highest was A Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, which is a long way off. That generates 400k in that year. The one I mentioned previously, 300k, only 300k. It's like, wow. But then you've got people like Jonah Louie and Stop the Cavalry. Is it? Was it? Yeah, I think it was that one. And that generates like 120k. And the E17 one that I also had is one of my top 5. Gosh, those guys only generating 100k a year in royalties. Still not to be sniffed at, but that just shows you what kind of money's involved if you can get yourself a great Christmas hit. Because let's think about it. Every year it's going to be out there. And so when I was doing a little bit of research on this, I kind of thought to myself, well, what do other people? Is there a rating on this? So, although I've given you my top 5, there must be some kind of chart out there. And that's when I came across this article in The Independent, which is a newspaper over here in the UK, and they didn't publish the sums of royalties that got involved. They just went on radio play, and in the UK since 2012, the top 5 songs based on radio plays were at number 5, Jonah Louie and Stop the Cavalry. Again, it's a great song. The Merry Christmas Everybody by Slade, only number 4. I thought, wow, maybe people are going off there. I don't know. But Wham were in there at number 3 with Last Christmas. But Wizard, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, number 2. And then the most played in terms of radio play since 2012 is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl. It's a great song. Wasn't one of my favourites, but again, it's one of those classics, I guess. But it then again got me thinking, well, okay, so that's very UK centric. But what about the rest of the world? Does everyone else have this kind of stuff, or what do other people listen to? And it was interesting that Spotify produced a worldwide popularity league table from 2015. That's the most recent one I can get, even though it's kind of 5 years old. And some of the ones that are on there, which is more kind of, rather than being UK centric as before, you've got things on there like Let It Snow by Frank Sinatra. You've got White Christmas by Bing Crosby at number 9. Do They Know It's Christmas? Band-Aid was in at number 7. And It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams. What a great song that is. Number 6. Who else is on there? Oh my God, there's a track by Justin Bieber, Mistletoe. Really? Wow. And Michael Bublé's in there at number 3. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yeah, well, so it's a great little song. And then the top 2, Last Christmas by Wham, number 2, and then All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. So just goes to show, right? That's off Spotify. But then it also got me thinking, so they're the ones I like listening to, but there are some really bad ones out there as well. And I go, and this is only my opinion, right? But just some of the ones that I just think, oh God, in my opinion, some of the worst. Band-Aid 2 or Band-Aid 30, whatever they called it. They did a couple of them. Just leave the classic. You're never going to better it. And it just sounded awful. It was what a complete disaster, I think. And in the UK, we had back in the mid to late 80s, we had this thing called Jive Bunny, and anything by Jive Bunny, I'm sorry, just no. Again, an absolute no. Again, this might be a bit controversial, certainly for maybe some of the older UK listeners out here. But sorry, but Cliff Richard, again, not really doing it for me there, Cliff. Anything by him, I just want to switch off. And then I found something, and I thought, I cannot believe they actually released this. But in 2004 or 5, Crazy Frog did a cover of Last Christmas. What? It's like, and again, if anybody wants to go and listen to this, you've got to think to yourself, what on earth was George Michael thinking, allowing these people to record a cover of that song? I mean, I can't believe he must have been hard up for cash or something that year, but yeah, God, just just some of the bad ones. But there is one kind of bad one, but funny one that I kind of like. I'm not sure if I should say this, but I actually quite enjoy listening to Happy Crimbo by Bo Selector. It's just stupid, but you know what? It's just a little bit of fun. I quite enjoy that. But yeah, so there you go. There were my top 5 Christmas kind of hits that get me in the mood for Christmas. And I'm now going to go off and try and pen and write a Christmas hit so that I never have to work again.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
So that's it, everybody. It's the end of the Christmas Day special. I hope you've had a great Christmas Day. Probably eaten too much, drank too much, probably eaten too many chocolates, but hey, once a year, right? And it's been a bit of a strange year. Let's hope next year, we get rid of the COVID and, we try and get back to some kind of normality. So it's just down to me now to wish you all a happy new year. I'm off to put my feet up and have a bit of a rest and probably have a bit of a snooze on the couch. Take care, everyone.
That's it for this week's episode. Add us to your podcatcher or on iTunes now so that you can make sure you never miss out on another second of our wonderful podcast. We would hate for you to miss out. Have a great week, everyone.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.
This podcast has been brought to you by our sponsors, Right-Click and Data Insight Systems, leaders in business intelligence dashboards. Contact us at info@datainsightsystems.co.uk.
Ho, 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 ho! Happy holidays!